What's up, guys? 360 in the house, and we are back to Precog. We are talking about Trend Spotter by Precog. This is an absolute fantastic chart weapon that you can use, and it is basically designed and based completely off of price action, which, as you know, is the end-all be-all for charting and for technical analysis. It is what it is. It is the best in the game. Well, Trend Spotter has been developed to pull pivot points off of previous price action supply and demand levels. So I'm going to show you what it looks like without my lines on the chart so that you can see it in its purity. So there you go. We've kept the lines light and dotted so that you can use them in addition with your own price action lines as you draw a horizontal support, trend line, support, and resistance, and you come up with your own supply and demand levels. But I wanted you to see how this is like something you just couldn't do on your own. This is so intensive and so immersed into the chart, and it goes way back and it draws. You can see these lines. You can see these lines. They stay on the chart and they're used for future price action to determine these pivot points. I mean, it's amazing. You cannot literally do this on your own, but because we have it by way of an algorithm in a computer, we're able to get this data, and this data in conjunction with your own price action is amazing to determine trends in relation to pivot points. So where would price action be pivoting? So I'm going to show you just how incredible this is. I put my own lines back up there. And so the way that it indicates, I'm going to zoom in so that you can see, is it'll say on the green bars, it actually says PL for pivot lows. So anytime you see the green, that's a PL for pivot low, representing that price will probably most likely pivot off of that area. And then the red is PH for pivot high. And basically all this this tool is doing is pulling from previous price action highs and lows in determining direction, momentum, and then forward drawing those lines. And that's why you see all these red and blue dotted lines. We kept them light because we want you to use them in addition and in combination with your own solid lines of horizontal support resistance. Now, how well do they work? Well, let's see for yourself. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic. So here you have that descending wedge, and you can see the pivot lows printing off the top multiple times. Here's a signal there getting a reversal, another signal getting a much bigger reversal. You can see down at support, you got some pivot lows. I would use these again in combination with your key areas of support resistance. So you notice how well it worked off of the bottom edge of this wedge. It's worked out fantastic. You got green, green, green. And then at the top for resistance, it's panned out as well for a pivot high and getting reversal there. So you can use, let's look back again. I want to show you kind of a channel and how well this works. So scalpers can use this. This is pretty much an ascending channel. And by using the pivot highs and the pivot lows, and when these signals print, and you can use those and scalp. This is a scalper's paradise right here off of these signals. I mean, this is what was called a rolling stock back in the day of trading stocks, where stock would trade in a range, and you would short it at the high and you would long it at the low, short it at the high, long it at the low. Using these pivot high signals and the pivot low signals, this would have been a champion of a method to scalp or take quick profits. So these are things you want to use in combination with your price action analysis, but can help you establish whether price is going to actually reverse off of those pivot points based off of previous price action and momentum and direction of movement. I freaking love Trend Spotter by Precog, another incredible tool. I mean, just look how beautifully these signals panned out and where they work. Use them in combination with your other price action skills in reading your charts, and this is going to help you out greatly in your trading. To determine, you can also use it to determine when to take profit. So if you were to enter on a pivot low and you got a pivot high reversal signal, you know, that could be a good indicator to take profits there if you had not already taken profits there, showing that you would most likely see resistance at that high. Vice versa on if you were shorting, you know, if you were shorting a pivot high or one of these key areas and you, the trend spotter popped up with a pivot low signal, it might indicate that might be a good time to take profits or get out of that trade as well. So not only can this be used to set up possible trade entries, it can be used to help you determine when or how or whether you should get out or go ahead and sell what you have on that trade as well. I mean, this is just, here it is again. You can see how effective this is at the highs of this channel and at the lows of the support here off of this channel. Unbelievable, absolutely incredible. Trend spotter, yet another fantastic weapon for your charting and your price action analysis. Get it, get involved, let's go.